Let's now switch to the British pound, and we can see that, that this week the pound is under negative pressure, and all in all, the general downtrend in British pound continues. Still, the currency failed to retrace to the levels where it was before the Brexit vote in June. Some say that the British pound is really undervalued, but given the uncertainty which surrounds the Brexit process, simply the uncertainty prevents British pound from trading on better economic data we get from Britain, and we see that traders keep selling this currency. Theresa May, the head of the UK government, said on Sunday that negotiations on Brexit will be about getting the right relationship and not about keeping bits of the UK membership in the European Union. These comments were taken negatively by the market, and we saw GBP USD decline towards 1.2150 mark. We await the ruling of the UK Supreme Court on Brexit. This ruling is expected somewhere between January 12th and January 17th. And the thing is that the UK Supreme Court will decide whether the British government needs approval of British Parliament to start Brexit. If the court says that it does, then the British pound will have some additional support, and we will probably see a positive weekly dynamics as in this case Brexit will get delayed. But if the court says that the government doesn't need the approval of the parliament to trigger Article 50 and Brexit, British pound will once again suffer. Still, some analysts say that it is not really important. Now, everyone believes that Britain will ultimately leave the European Union, and it is more about conditions on which the UK will take part in the European single market or not, which are really important. So for now, we have this pressure on the British pound, and in my opinion, bullish positions here are quite risky. Getting to the daily chart, we can see at the technical picture there was a rejection of the British currency from 50-day moving average located at 1.2435. Here we have a bearish engulfing pattern. Trading today opened with a gap to the downside, and as a result, the technical picture on the daily chart doesn't look very encouraging, and we have levels around 1.20 to watch next. Here I have this weekly pivot indicator. We can see that the pivot mark for the British pound is located at 1.2305 level. This is a major resistance for the British pound this week. Around this level, if the pound managed to return to 1.2305, new sellers should appear here, keeping the currency under pressure. And the next target to the downside lies at 1.2070. This is my bearish target for the British pound. If something happens and if there are very negative comments from the UK officials, if US dollars suddenly feels stronger, then we have another level at 1.1945. But I think that this may be too much for this week, and we need to focus on closer levels around 1.2070 as our targets.